part of my session is you need not to look at your mobiles because it is going to end very soon, right? So agenda is over and we will go to the next session. So first of all, thank you so much for attending till here. I know many of us left, that's fine. So I'll give my best shot. So Agentic AI is very much evident for GCCs, but we will start with the problem statement of GCCs. So as you know that India as a center for GCCs, we have a lot of problem statement, like as per the maturity of the GCCs. So GCCs who are very much established 10 plus years, who are 5 plus years, or who are coming to the world of India or global front recently, right? So as per that, the common themes that we see, especially from the cost perspective, and here cost is nothing but the product, but how you are building and how you are spending your money. But it is also that what is the effort cost when you do not do co-creation, when you do not do collaboration between silos, when you do not do sharing your knowledge between your departments. So we know that everybody is talking about generative AI, and in our organization or any GCCs, that will be a majority, because that's what I was hearing from one of my seniors, that okay, GCC suddenly became one team member became 500 members. So suddenly we are seeing this exponential growth. And when we are seeing exponential growth, if you don't share the knowledge, if you don't share the innovation, you will end up giving the cost for your duplicate innovation. So first thing is definitely the cost for the innovation. Second thing is that your competition, right? So GCCs, when, for example, as you know that example of Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. So when both of them coming to India, they definitely want to differentiate themselves. And the differentiation is that how you differentiate yourself, and where your data is the key, and then how you interact between the machines. Because at the end of the day, if you don't interact between the machines, how we always say that, okay, I have a silo, and now I have to collaborate. And for that collaboration, I have to talk to different departments. And many leaders out here must be very good at collaboration, but many are not. That is a common problem for any organization, be it a big organization of enterprise or GCCs. Third thing that is very much evident after generative AI is coming, or before that, that many of you are AI leaders, and you know that you are the gem in the company, and you are basically controlling the power of AI, right? So when Gen AI came, suddenly what happened that you have given back your power to the user, and you see the adoption curve going high. Everybody is talking about AI, generative AI, adoption, and all of this thing. Earlier till there, like, okay, you have an AI team, you are doing POC, you are doing all these use cases to live, that is your motto, nobody knows, yeah, definitely you are the cream of the company. But currently the exponential adoption that we are seeing not only from the AI team, but also from a normal human or normal employee who are using your AI system. So as you know that POC is not the end, after adoption, the real ROI will come. So when you see these things, you can see a common thing that is coming, that is platform. And definitely platform, many of you may be developing your platform, many of you may be already doing it, so it is not new. Platform is the key. So platform brings repetitiveness to a singularity. Platform makes connectivity. Platform brings that if you have data sets scattered different places, how you can utilize that. Today in the HR, talking to support organization, talking to product organization, and if we do not share the knowledge in the digital world, those knowledges are nothing but your data, and data can be curated with generative AI. So generative AI has also, as I said, generative AI has brought the power to users. So we have to always think about how I will enable the user so that they can use generative AI models and everything very seamlessly. So simplicity is the key. Now, when we are in the agentic journey, so if I am new or I'm basically matured in my agentic journey, so I have one curve that I have to pass through to go to real agentic use cases, and definitely the adoption, because adoption is always the key. So the first thing is that generally, if you are a manager, leader, or industry leaders, definitely one thing you generally do always, that you do decision making. And one of the session that I was hearing, that decision making generally we do not do generative AI because it is risky. But if you see your day-to-day life, we do a lot of decisions which we, like as a leader, I will definitely delegate to my next level and all that. why don't you actually delegate that to generative AI? Because at the end of the day, everything is data, and data is nothing but the power that can accumulate between your decision making. So let's collect the decision map, how you differentiate your decision for the business goal. Second is, as we know that many GCCs have been already using different tools and technology, maybe for example, ServiceNow, different other tools, and there are many enterprises here who are trying to accumulate their services and offers there. So it is not that GCC is starting from the beginning. So it is not even starting from the beginning. So that means I need a generative AI solution, but I need that my legacy solution, my solution that I have been working for last 5 years, it has to be grounded to the level through the platform so that I know that, okay, I'm not leaving it behind. Definitely I have a strategy for 5 years to 10 years to throw them back, but at this moment I have to go along with that. So integration is the key, and definitely you should have given the strategy to the user or the builder of this agentic AI that how you can give a data catalog, because many use cases that will coming from different data catalog. It is not possible that you will start from zero, you understand the whole requirement, and then you curate your generative AI solution. Sometimes it is that you have given a platform. One of the example of the platform is Azure Foundry. So that platform also gives you the privilege that you can have your data segregated. Salesforce has similar kind of platform where you can choose the data, whatever you need, and then according to your need, you can curate your use case very fast. So time to value is the key, and which can be enabled with the data catalog. The last another thing that is very much everybody is doing, that is enterprise level rack, that okay, you have lot of data, which is your gold, and you are basically curating the data and making sure they are tuned and they are using it for very matured use cases. And not at the least, the live product, because at the end of the day, in GCC, we call it solution. If you are enterprise, you will call it product, but at the same time, you are solving a problem. And when you are solving a problem, why don't you actually bring that generative AI into your product and services and use that for your customer? Because until and unless you are using internally, but until customer is not using it, then you are not going to gain that paycheck. So how we do that? So we have different layers of implementation. So one thing that I was telling about Azure and Google Cloud or all these things, cloud framework is not new. So it is something that will give you the privilege of expansion of scalability, right? So today, Azure has given you different privilege, different platform, and then you have your own data. That is your generative AI platform can integrate, and that is your differentiation. Because as I was telling that different companies have different kinds of data and business, and in that way you are unique, and this unique proposition will give you edge in the competition, right? And when you talk about agent, let's talk about thinking about how agent can work across the department, across the segments. So it is not, we are not talking about, okay, I will create an agent, it will do a specific purpose. Yes, definitely yes. But why don't we actually collaborate between two agents and making sure that it is doing an end-to-end business process transformation. So here I'm talking about business process transformation with generative AI with the platform. And very important thing that is that we generally forget always, and especially if you are AI team, it should be very much needed that we know. That is user experience. But because your goal, end of the day, is to being adopted by the user, and until you hide all the complexity from the user is not going to do prompt engineering on each and single chatbot, right? So it has to be that I don't need to teach the user prompt engineering. Why don't we actually give a button and click on it and give the use case, so that with a single button, user will actually get the answer. So that will be the starting point. And then the last problem, or what we want to solve here, the last slide, what we want to solve here is art of possible. Because till now we were discussing about how we build it, how we build unit solution. And as you know, that when we talk about platform, it is an end-to-end story. So the end-to-end story is, okay, collaboration. Why don't we actually create collaborative agent across the department, across your product segment, support segment, and all that. And it is a concept of multi-agent, when one agent is talking to another, one agent as a supervisor agent, and actually pick the information from different agents and do the decision making. So here I'm talking about, for example, if I'm talking about CSO agent, in normal world, if you see the normal world, the CSO will talk to different departments and take their decision, even recruitment, even understanding their financial for the business. lot of things we do across the business. Nobody is actually cannot handle the single shot. That CMO is unique. Everybody is a collaborative role, and why don't we actually create the agents for the collaborative role so that it will not only enable our CMO, CHRO, and everybody, and it will enable an accelerated growth for the GCCs. And that's why we need. And thank you so much for listening. And I believe that you will take away from some of the things that I talk about agentic, multi agents, and with a collaborative approach. And this is my LinkedIn page. So if you want to collaborate more, definitely, I would love to. Thank you.